Hello friends, it is your boy Jacob here, aka Mr. Punctual, because I won't be wasting your time today. I know why you're here, you know why you're here. It's the Steam Summer Sale. It's time to go bankrupt because we're gonna fill our backlog that we know we've been meaning to play with more games. I'm going to try and keep all of these the most bang for your buck, I suppose, because I know that there's a lot of discounts that are like 5 to 10%. Those aren't really worth buying at the moment because you can get those really at any time if it's only like $5 off. I'm looking for the ones that are steep discounts and are great value. So that's what this focuses on. Also, it's not going to really be like mainstream titles that everyone recommends. So you're not going to see like, oh, Witcher 3 or oh, get Fallout. I'm going to try and do a little bit of niche things here. So you know what? Let's get started. To kickstart the list, I'm going to highlight one of my favorite indie games of last year, INSCRYPTION. This is an indie game that's probably not quite like anything you've played before. Yes, it is a turn-based hard game, but I know what you're thinking. I know that probably sounds really boring, but you gotta give this game a try. It really is very unique and there isn't anything quite like it on Steam at the moment. It takes routes that you might not expect, and I can't really elaborate on them because I think it'll be a bit spoilery. But this is really a game to go into completely blind and play through the story. It's super addictive, and for the low price of $14, 30% off, not the biggest deal, but the lowest I've seen it so far, it'd be hard to not recommend this game. You know, you don't have to take it from me exclusively. You can also look at all of the reviews, the recent ones, and all of them in general. It's sitting at overwhelmingly positive with 66,000 reviews. That's pretty good. So you know what? If you're into roguelikes, if you're into indie games, if you're into weird games in general, I'd say give this game a shot. Now, this next game in particular, I dedicate to my fellow gamers that fell to the clutches of From Software's Elden Ring and probably poured way too many hours into that game than they should have because it's completely addicting, and that was also me. But once you beat the game, it probably left a void in you, and it left you thinking, damn, I need another Souls-like to keep this void away. We'll look no further than Remnant from the Ashes. It is not a From Software game. Let's clarify that right off the bat. But it is a Souls-like and probably the best one to date that I've played. There's a bit of a different spin to it in the sense that the combat is actually shooter-based. There is melee weapons too, but the main focus is really guns here. But it ends up being a lot more than just a gimmick. The gameplay is very fun, the combat loop is challenging, and it also is punishing, so you know what? It's hitting all of your marks that Elden Ring was hitting. And currently this game is 60% off at $16, originally $40. I recommend this game. And the nice plus that this game has is online multiplayer co-op. So if you're looking to get a game with a buddy and try something new, then this is for you. And for the next game on our list is a game that was actually probably one of my game of the years last year. I was very hooked on this game when it came out and I bought it on PS5. And that, for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, is the game known as DEATHLOOP. Very fun, and I know this probably is a very mainstream one, but for some reason I feel like I don't really hear anyone talk about it, and if they do, they end up saying that they played it for like 1 or 2 hours and then they gave up on it. This game deserves better than that, in my opinion. This is one of my favorite games, I'll say it again, and to me, what made the game so addicting was really just its unique gameplay loop, the whole time mechanic and having to assassinate all of your targets within one day, practically by learning their routines through different context clues, listening in on conversations, reading manuals, etc. I thought that was very addicting, and it did keep me on the hook for trying to figure out like how to get the perfect day so where I could eliminate everyone. And the story itself is intriguing enough to see why you're in the scenario that you are in, and I also enjoyed the ending. This game also does have multiplayer, so if you're familiar with arcade games like Dishonored 1 or Dishonored 2 and or Prey, it's very stealth based. Now, you don't always have to do stealth, but probably is the best alternative. So if stealth games really isn't your thing, you might not like this one because progressing through the game does require a lot of careful planning, if you will, and a lot of stealth. But of course, as you can see in the video, there's also moments where it's just downright action. So I would say give this game a shot. I thought this game was amazing. And just to clarify, it is currently also 60% off at $24. So that's a pretty hard deal to pass up on. And I would definitely recommend DEATHLOOP. And before we get too far into the list, I just want to make sure that if you're liking the list so far, please feel free to drop a like and or subscribe because it helps a small YouTuber like myself grow. But if not, that is completely okay too. And on to the next game on my list. And for the next game on my list, we are back to indies with Death's Door. This is a game that I've had my eye on for quite some time. As you can see, it's a top-down view. It is also a Souls-like, but I'd say that it's more in the realm of Hades. That's probably the better comparison. So if you enjoyed Hades, I think you'd most likely enjoy this game as well. It's sitting currently at half off at $10. And as you can see, I just bought this game and I'm very excited to play this one because I've had my eye on it and I've heard nothing but great things about it. So I'm looking forward to my time with it. Okay, now I know what you're probably thinking. Jacob, this is another mainstream title. Yes, but no one talks about this game. I swear I don't hear about this game nearly enough as I should because this game is also very amazing. It was tied for me personally with Deathloop as my game of the year for last year because it completely came out of nowhere and I did not expect it to be as good as it was. And the cool thing about it is that you really don't even have to like Marvel movies and you really don't have to know a lot about the Guardians of the Galaxy because it does a good job at establishing its characters and giving you a reason as to why you should care about this group to begin with. Because it is their beginnings, they're not already well established and known. They're still figuring out the nuances of the group members and how to interact with each other. The voice acting is great, the combat is great, and the writing is great. Really can't give enough of a rave review on this game, besides telling you to buy it, which I am. Because currently, Guardians of the Galaxy is sitting at half off at $30, which is the most expensive game on the list, but I would have to say one that is definitely worth it. So do yourself a favor and buy this game. And now for your next game, for the people out there that love hack and slash games like Devil May Cry, this is a great game and it's also recently come into relevancy thanks to the memes that have been attached to it based off one of its antagonist characters. But meme potential aside, this game is actually just really insane. As you can see from the combat, this game really is fun. It is just a fun time. There's really no way to go around it. It's like the most video gamey you can get. Playing the trailer here, you can just tell that complete madness. But you know what? That's kind of what you expect from this point when it comes to Metal Gear. And this is a spin-off, so really no stealth here. It's all action-based, all combat-based. But it is very funny and it is very fun. And looking at the reviews here, from other people, you don't have to take just my word from it. You can also see all of the other ones, which is currently sitting at overwhelmingly positive. This is a game that I also just bought recently because I was waiting for the sale. And it was sitting at $7.50, so 75% off. I had to bite the bullet and I had to do it. So now is the time to buy this game and give it a shot. And now for your quick recommendation, because it is only $2. I will not be providing context to this besides saying that it is a very great puzzler. That is all you need to know. It's $2. Get this game. And coming up on the end of my list is the Dark Pictures House of Ashes chapter. I know you've probably seen a lot of YouTubers and Let's Players and Twitch streamers playing The Quarry right now. Well, this is another game made by Supermassive Games that won't break your bank because currently The Quarry is at $60 and House of Ashes at $20. But this is very good. It actually was one of my favorite chapters from the Dark Pictures because I know that the other chapters weren't that great, but this one has a really good story and has decent scares to it, and I really enjoy the choices matter aspect. I really love those games. I can't stop recommending those enough because it reminds me of when I was a kid and I would read choose your own adventure stories. So if that's your kind of thing, if you like that type of narrative where you get to influence the outcome of the ending, I definitely recommend House of Ashes for $20. And for my second to last one is for people that are looking for the absolute most bang to your buck. It does not get any better than the Mass Effect Trilogy, the Legendary Edition. It's currently sitting at $25, and that's for 3 games and multiple hours of content. I mean, just looking at the reviews here, we're talking about like 100 plus, 50 plus. Wow, that guy has 220. And this is a game that I actually did rebuy because I played the original Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 on my Xbox 360 back in the day. but being able to jump back into this RPG, which is actually very deep and very well written. Do not let Andromeda fool you. These OG ones, they're very great. And you're going to get hundreds of hours out of these games, quite literally. So if you're looking for the absolute most bang for your buck, it's got to be Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Highly recommend. And we're getting to the end of my list, but before we get there, I just wanted to give a quick, dumb video game, I suppose. And that would be Destroy All Humans. Very dumb, but extremely fun. I know I said that Metal Gear Rising is very video gamey, the most video gamey one on this list, but I'm mistaken. It's actually this game. I have this one over on my PlayStation currently, and honestly, this is really good when you just want to kick back and relax and do something mindless, but still be entertaining enough and have fun. Destroy All Humans is the remastered version, of course. That's not the original from back in the day, but that means that the controls are better and it's not quite as dated as you remember it. It did get an overhaul in the graphics department and also in the controls and gameplay department. So that is always welcome, especially when the game was already pretty good back then. And this is currently sitting at $10 or 67% off. So you know what? If you're looking for a really goofy, fun game, hard to pass up on this one for this price because it is just senseless fun. And now for the last game on my list. Yes, it is Metro Exodus. I know, once again, this is probably more of a mainstream title, but one that is not given nearly as much credit as it should have. The story is great, the semi-open worlds are great. It's not exactly fully open world. The way the gameplay works is you're following a train and it gives you hub worlds to explore, which is not cohesive giant open world that some people may want, but that does open the window to having a wide variety of environments, which I really enjoyed. If you're a big fan of Fallout, for example, then this might be your cup of tea. It is a lot more hardcore, mind you, so not quite the same, but it does fill that post-apocalyptic itch that people might have. And if your game can run it, this game is a beauty. There's really no arguing it. The graphics in this game are insane. Please just make sure that your computer can run it before you purchase it. But this game is really hard to pass up on, and a big one that I like to recommend because I enjoyed my time with this. And I know that many other people will as well when they start to give this game a chance. Because I really don't hear this game talked about all that much, but I think that the Metro series is pretty damn great. And it's currently 67% off. It's literally $10. Extremely hard to pass up. You gotta buy this game. Cannot recommend it enough. And now that my list is done, you know what time it is. You go out there, you get on your computer, and you go abuse your credit card and get into credit debt for the games that you're gonna get. Based off my recommendations, hopefully, if you enjoyed them, then feel free to drop a like and or subscribe. Hopefully I was able to provide you with at least one game that you haven't heard of, or maybe you have, but have been meaning to buy. Also, feel free to drop a comment and recommendation for myself, because I know that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of games on Steam, and I'm definitely not gonna be able to know all of the good ones. So if you have an extremely good game that you've been meaning to recommend, feel free to drop that in the comments and I'll give it a try. Thank you for watching and have a good Steam summer sale. Peace.